two friends, two time zones, and a shared love of stories.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Jamie.
Bridging time zones one chapter at a time.
Welcome to Once Upon a Time Zone. Hi everyone, welcome back to Once Upon a Time Zone. We are doing our regular monthly reading recap today. So we are going over our month of February, seeing how that month went in terms of reads, and we're also going to do our little look towards March, which is also always very exciting. But yeah, I love these little reading recap episodes. I feel like it's so funny because we always talk about how wrap-ups are so difficult to film on our individual channels, but I feel like these recaps are just so much more, I guess, chatty. Like they're just more conversational. We're talking about more of our feelings and reading moods versus specifically like wrapping up every single book we read that month. So I actually really love these little, I don't know, monthly catch-ups. They're really fun.
They're actually one of my favorite videos to film every month, I think. Like, I've literally I was looking forward to this episode today. I woke up and I was like, oh, it's February wrap-up episode.
I know, they're just so cozy.
Literally.
So yeah, we'll go over February. We're also going to look forward to March, which, if you guys haven't joined our Patreon book club that we announced last week yet, as a reminder, we are going to be reading A Stage Set for Villains by Shannon Spann next month. Super excited. Definitely a read that I am personally looking forward to very, very much. So yeah, if you haven't yet, check out our Patreon. No pressure in joining, but it's there if you want it, if you want more of us. But let's get into it. So first of all, current reads. I actually spoiled this for myself like half an hour before we hit record because we were texting each other before we jumped on this call. Yeah. But Freya, what are you currently reading?
I am currently reading The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. I talked about wanting to work my way through V.E. Schwab's backlog this year, and I'm really excited about this one because it's the first in a new series for her. And do we have a release date for the next one in this series?
She's currently writing it. No. So it's the Villain series. Yeah, that's coming out this year. The next one in Fragile Threads will be next year because it's the one she's currently working on right now. But it's in progress.
Yeah. So, that's still good. I'm very excited to be back in this world, though. Like, I think I'm only 50, 60 pages in. Literally started it this morning. But, like, already, it kind of just feels like a bit of a hug. Like, I know it's not a cozy world by any means. Like, it's a pretty intense world, but just like being back in it, it's like when you get back into Way of Kings or something, it's just like, I've missed this world, I've missed these characters. Well, I haven't heard that much of our characters yet, but I've gotten glimpses of them. I'm waiting, and I'm getting introduced to new characters, everything like that. So if you guys didn't know, this is connected to the Dark Shadow Magic trilogy. And it's, a start of a new series, which I didn't know, and Jamie informed me of. I thought it was just like a spin-off of I was just like, oh, great, it's like a bonus book. And that's why I wasn't like itching to get to it, because I thought it was just going to be novella vibes, but it's the start of an entirely new story. So very excited about that one. And I think I know what you're currently reading as well, but just to make sure, what are you currently reading?
We really spoiled each other this week.
Yeah.
I'm getting back into thrillers, guys. I said it was going to happen this year, and it's actually happening because, I'm skipping ahead of myself and getting into February recap, but I read 3 thrillers this past month. Wow. This is my 3rd one, but it is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So it's an author that I know you've loved in the past.
Yeah.
And I know she tends to write some pretty good thrillers. I think she has a pretty good reputation in the thriller world. So I decided to jump into this one. It's so confusing, but in the best way. In terms it's supposed to be confusing. Like there are just so many things that happen that keep throwing you off course. Because the whole premise of this one is essentially we follow Eden, and at the beginning of the story, she hops out for an evening run. She's just like, I'm going to go for a run, casual, whatever. It's something that she does pretty regularly. But when she comes home, she notices that her key doesn't fit in the lock anymore. So she's like, what happened? Did we change the locks? Whatever. So she knocks on the door, and a woman answers the door who kind of looks like her, but is not her. And so she's like, "What are you doing? Who are you? Why are you in my house?" And then this mysterious woman is like, "I'm Eden." And Eden's like, "No, I'm Eden." And so it's all very confusing. And then Eden's like, "Okay, what do I do now?" Her husband appears like behind this like mysterious stranger. And she's like, "Oh my God, thank God you're here. Who is this woman? Why is she like what is she doing here?" And her husband's like, "I don't know you. Like, who are you? Like, this is my wife Eden. Who are you?" And so she's like, it's just like immediately like, what is going on here? And so they like call the cops on her and like accuse her of trespassing. And that's all I'm gonna tell you about the story. But then yeah, we just go on to literally try and figure out what's going on. But as we go on through the story, it's multi POV, so we're following like kind of all the characters involved. And I thought like, oh, it's multi POV. It's going to be easy to start piecing things together and like tell who's like lying and who's scheming and whatever. No, like I can't figure out a single thing. And throughout the story, I'm like in the last third of it now. Throughout the story, there are so many twists that happen and like so many big reveals that like just add a whole other layer to it. And at this point, I'm literally like, I don't know what to think. And I always like, I consider myself to be pretty good usually at predicting books and like guessing plot
Yeah.
twists and whatever, but I can't. I for the life of me, like I do not know what is going on, but like because of that I'm having so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I need to know like what your final rating is because I feel like it's always really scary with thrillers like that where it starts out really, really good and then it's so easy for it to like take this really unrealistic, just not kind of make sense ending that just is like an explanation.
Yeah.
So hopefully it sticks good. I think I've seen good things about this book though. I think I've seen a lot of good things. Have you read anything by Alice Feeney before? I can never remember.
No, this is my first one.
I need you to read Rock, Paper, Scissors because that book like shocked me. And I read it like what, over a year ago now, and I still think about the ending to that one.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah,
Was that
I
one
need you to
also
read that
like
one.
was it another one where you like didn't know what was going on the whole way through, or was it sort of
It
more
was no, it was
set?
more just like eerie vibes.
Okay.
And you were like, I think I know where this plot is going, and I think and then you don't. Like you I don't think anyone could guess that plot twist to be
Wow.
honest. She writes some really good books. I really want to read more of her thrillers because I don't think I've ever predicted an ending of hers, which is, you're right. Often with thrillers, I feel like you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so bizarre and like the creativity I think is really baffling
Yeah.
me. Like how did you think of this twist or how did you think of this and like the fact that the twists are happening along the way and not just at the end, like I like that. I'm
That's some
really
good
liking it.
writing. I don't know if you've seen the movie. It's reminding me of that, of the movie Us. I can't think of the director's name, but he's really
Oh,
great. He does like horror slash psychological thriller movies. He also directed Get Out. But
yes.
Us is probably the one movie. It's kind of like that where they have like doubles, like
Mm.
like creepy doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the one movie that has like actually terrified me to the core. And I've never been able to like recover from it because like the thought of having a double of you, like an evil version of yourself, is
No, that's terrifying.
terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's really
Oh my gosh.
interesting.
It sucks. Also, just like the whole identity theft thing is really stressing
Oh,
me out because, like, the fact, okay, this is like, it's giving me anxiety thinking about it, but the fact that she was out on a run, so she didn't have her phone on her because she was just going, like, she was raw dogging her
true.
run. She didn't have her, like, wallet, so none of her IDs, like, all of that she left in the house, and she can't access now because she can't get into her house because they think she's, like, an intruder. Like, she just has nothing and like no way to prove who she is. And I'm like, that is probably one of my biggest fears. Like,
Alice Feeney really just
literally.
creeped into people's minds and was like, "What is your like most unrealistic but like terrifying fear?" And I'm gonna put it on
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah. Like, what is going to stress you out the most? That's what I'm going
Yeah.
to do.
Oh my gosh, I'm so curious now to see your final rating. Please let me know when you finish it.
Yeah. You'll have to get back into it after we finish recording this episode.
Yeah.
All right. So we can get into our overall February months. So, in terms of like reading moods, what you were reaching towards, like how did your February go?
Well, I feel like we talked about a little bit last episode, I think it was. how much of an emotional roller coaster I feel like I was having
Yeah.
with books.
Yes.
And it's kind of gone, I don't know, February's a bit of a weird month for me, to be honest. Like, I don't know how I feel about it overall, because I had a lot of like just torturous kind of reads that made me cry and cry and cry. And then my next kind of reads have just been good and fine and nothing that's really shocked me. So, or like, really made me go, oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed with this book or anything like that. And so I kind of feel like I'm on this like emotional dud where I'm just not feeling anything, because I've really felt every single emotion in the first like 2 weeks of the month. And now I'm just like, can't feel anything. It's like I've cried everything out of me.
Oh no.
So it's a bit weird.
No tears left to shed.
Yeah, literally. What about your February, like overall?
I feel like I've read some really high quality books. I think similar to you, like went on such an emotional roller coaster with some of them. But I was looking at my genre breakdown this past month, and it looks very different compared to my usual genre breakdown. Like fantasy books, only read two. Two!
Wow.
I'm like, I can't remember the last time I read like under 5 fantasies a month. And I will say I read 2 sci-fis, like in the Red Rising series, and I kind of count that towards fantasy.
Yeah.
So we had that in there, but yeah, in terms of like magical fantasy, I only read 2 books, which is so strange for me. And then yeah, I did read quite a bit of fiction, and then I've been reading thrillers. Like at the end of the month in particular, I think I just like dove into thrillers, and we'll get a little bit more into some of the thrillers that I read in a bit. But yeah, I just like read one thriller and I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. And I was like, why did I convince myself or tell myself I didn't like thrillers anymore? And then yeah, I've just been craving thrillers. I don't know. It's weird, guys. I don't know what's going on.
I feel like I did that last month as well, though. I think when you have a break from thrillers and you forget the general like plot progression of most thrillers,
Yeah.
diving back into them is actually so much, and they're just so addictive. Like when you're not reading them, you're thinking about them and how that, and like when you haven't felt that from another book in a while, it's a really great, it's like a comfort feeling almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I mean, this one's kind of disturbing that I'm currently reading,
Yeah.
but
Well.
it's just so like compelling. I'm
Keeping you
like,
thinking.
wait, tell me more. I literally have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. But I think we also want to share our Fable reader summaries again to like set the vibe, set the tone of what's going on. What's yours?
Which we love. Okay, mine actually just changed as I updated my current reads. But I am an emotional eclectic. Your bookshelf ranges from haunting gothic stories to heartwarming survival stories. The resilience you found in those books carries over into your life, helping you cope and adapt during times of change.
Are you coping? Are you really coping?
I don't know. I think I've just gotten to the point where I'm just like coping and just suppressing my emotions, to be honest. But in terms of reading, that's kind of too, that's scary accurate in my opinion.
Yeah. No, they nailed it with
Wow.
the emotions and the like, yeah, are you okay? Are you fine?
Like, should we send a
Fable's
check-in
calling you
text?
out. Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
my gosh. What's your one? I'm curious to see yours.
Okay, so funny. Mine also starts with emotional. So I am, it says emotional expert. Your bookshelf has all the emotional feels, from the depths of personal struggles to the heights of bittersweet love. With your reading list, you navigate a roller coaster of relationships from your cozy reading chair. Which is so funny because, like, I mean, I read 2 Red Rising books this past month, and, like, that whole series, I always call it an emotional roller coaster, and the biggest roller coasters I always go on. So the fact that Fable knows that and has put the literal term emotional roller coaster in my summary, I'm like, how did you do that?
It knows. It knows Pierce Brown.
Yeah, it sees a Pierce Brown book. It's like, okay, we got to throw roller coaster in there. We got to throw emotional in there.
It's actually kind of scary how like accurate they are, and it's so fun to see. Like literally, all I did was update what I'm currently reading. I didn't like add any books to my shelf or anything like that, and it instantly changed completely. And I was like, wow, this is so cool.
I love Fable. It's so cute and it's so much fun.
Such a fun addition. I actually went onto ours the other day to see our like compatibility thing because there's like a
Oh,
summary for our relationship. Let me see if I can get it up
wait.
again.
Yeah, I want to know. What is our
Um,
compatibility?
it was really funny. Okay. I didn't even know that. Okay, we've got a 43% match at the moment, which again continuously changes. My thing's just loading. Um,
43.
okay,
I feel
where
like
is
that's
it?
low.
Well, yeah, but then I started looking at other people and I feel like I don't usually have that like much in common, to be honest. Like it's pretty hard to get a high percentage. It says your reading tastes are in tune. You both love imaginative fiction and read widely across genres. On the flip side, you prefer intense stories while they like more heartwarming fare. Oh, so prefer intense stories and you like more heartwarming stories, it's saying.
Do I?
Apparently.
Do I
And then it has all our
really?
books we shared on like our ratings and if we agreed. So
Wow.
yeah, that's a fun little addition as well. Oh my gosh, it has like everything. It's got like our authors, our most shared, most read authors. So like Sarah J. Maas, Brandon Sanderson, Lee Bardugo, Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Tracks.
Wow. So fun.
We need to deep
Anyway.
dive more into our reader friendship. Um,
Yeah, literally.
I'm surprised I'm the heartwarming one out of the two of us.
Have you read like one nice book recently and that's what's
Um,
just
I don't, maybe maybe the end kind of like a little bit nice, but like it's
okay.
emotional turmoil throughout
Maybe
the
it's your
entire
Bridgerton
way.
books.
Oh,
You're
maybe.
like once a month Bridgerton books. It's like, yeah, there you go. She loves a heartwarming story.
Yeah, there we go. That one's cute. Oh, that's
All
funny.
right. Should we dive into a bit more detail on our months?
Yeah, let's do highs and lows. I guess I can start with highlights. So, I mean, top reads of the month were easily the Pierce Brown Red Rising books, Dark Age and Lightbringer. I don't think I need to expand more on that. You guys already know how much I love those books. The emotional roller coaster that Fable knows about.
Yep.
But another highlight for me this month was actually, so this wasn't my highest rated book of the month whatsoever. I think I only rated it like a 3.75 or something. But I actually read V.E. Schwab's Arc, and not the villain sequel, but her thriller one. So The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clarke. So this was her, so V.E. Schwab co-writing this with Kat Clarke. Um, I think this one comes out in like April or May. I think April. But yeah, I got the e-arc for it and I was so happy. And so I
So
was like,
cool.
let's dive into it. Yeah, and this is actually the one that awakened? Why do I always lose my
Oh, wait.
words when we're recording
Yeah, no,
podcasts?
I feel like as soon as you've got a camera in your face, it just
Ugh,
everything drains away.
it's like
Awakened, right?
awakened. It awakened
Yeah.
my like passion or motivation for reading thrillers. It was really fun. I don't think it was the perfect book. I was just really curious to see V. Schwab's writing in the thriller genre because that is something I've
Yeah.
never seen from her. And then also, yeah, she co-wrote this, so seeing how someone else's writing would affect hers. Um, I would say it's definitely not like My Husband's Wife, like my current read. It's more it's less mysterious, less like creepy and less scary, but it honestly reads a little bit more like a fiction that critiques the publishing industry because the story is about six authors that get invited to this island that's owned by a reclusive author. And this reclusive author is supposed to like write his last book in a series, but it's never come out. And so when the authors come, they get invited on the premise like they're promised that they're going for like a writing retreat kind of a thing, but when they get there, the publicist is there and they're like, you're actually here to finish writing his last book because he died before he
Oh.
could finish it. So there's literally like one chapter remaining, and so the six authors have to write their own versions of the last chapter to submit, and then one person wins, like the best chapter wins, and then that the book gets published. But yeah, because there are like so many authors and like they all come from different backgrounds and perspectives. There's a lot of commentary on the publishing industry, and all of them have their own like different struggles or different experiences with it. And it honestly just felt like they were like V.E. Schwab and Clarke. I feel like they were just like airing out all of their woes
Yeah.
in the book, kind of how we did in our like book talk episode, like how we were just like, this sucks and this sucks and that sucks. That's what the majority of this book felt like. And I feel like at points that part of it felt a little bit overwhelming. It was like, okay, it's like, oh my gosh, like what else sucks? But then we got more into like the mystery thriller side of it, like in the second half of the book. And overall, I feel like it was an entertaining read. It was easy to read. It was fun in the end, like a fun read overall. And yeah, I don't know. It was different than a lot of the other books I've ever read. It honestly at some points reminded me a little bit of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang.
Yeah, okay.
Probably just because of the like publishing industry stuff. And also Yellowface does turn a little bit thrillery at the end as well, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, kind of similar, but I was just really excited to read that arc. And so I was happy I was able to.
It's always so interesting to see when like an author you really like know and loved at like co-writes. I feel like it's always, honestly, just co-writing in general is really, really fascinating to me. Like having two, like it's just such a creative process. And I feel like having two combined your creative minds is like, it would be so hard. I feel like it would be really, really hard.
Yeah. It's funny because also I've seen interviews where V.E. Schwab has talked about her co-writing process and like how that works, like if they write chapter by chapter, like if they split the work or if they build on each other. And V.E. Schwab's described it as like building a house. So like one person builds the foundation and then the next person like puts down the whatever, and then they do the floors, the structural stuff, and then at the end they both go in together and put all like the little decorations in or paint and like stuff like that. And it's actually really funny because in the book there was actually a pair of co-writers and they described their co-writing experience that same way, like as building a house. So I'm like,
That's
I feel
so funny.
like, yeah, like they both put a lot of their like actual experience into this book, into these different characters. So
Yeah.
that was really fun to read about too.
That sounds really cool though. I'm kind of curious now. I kind of want to see what it's about.
Yeah. Like, yeah, again, don't go into it thinking it's going to be the most like twisty, thrillery read. Honestly, the twist was easy to guess, I would say. Like, it was very easy for me to guess. But it was still fun. Like, I don't think it ruined the book. It was still a very fun read. So, yeah, would recommend.
Cool.
What are your highs, though?
My highs, okay. Well, I mean, we've talked about Jade Legacy as well. I feel like we've both talked about our highlight books in general. I did want to say The Bright Years actually really surprised me as a book. I kind of picked it up on a whim at the library because I was like, oh, this is never at the library. Like, it's always on loan. So I was like, I may as well pick it up. And I read it in like a night. I started it one night and read like 20 pages. And then the next day I couldn't stop thinking about our characters. And I ended up just sitting down and reading it all because, and it was a very short book. Like it's only 260 pages or something like that. But what surprised me is how long it felt. Like I felt like we went on such an emotional journey with our characters and such a big amount of time passed throughout the story. It made me like so mad. I'm not going to lie. Ryan. I like was getting so mad at him, but also I wanted to understand him. Like I was dying to understand where he was coming from. And I think that's a really, I don't know, just a really wonderful way of writing, to be so irritated at a character, but like still willing to understand where they're coming from and willing to understand like their mindset and what's gotten them to this situation and everything like that. And I think it touched on some really important issues. And honestly, middle half of the book, what? Like, I literally reread that page and I was like, sorry, what? No, that's not allowed to happen to this character. Like, no, I love this. I loved this part. Yeah. it was a tough read, but also I think a really good one. And I definitely want to start reading more contemporary fictions like that aren't super, super long, but you still have that really strong connection to your characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, as I said, kind of weird month. It's got some really good highs, but honestly, a lot of those highs involved crying a lot. So I don't know,
Yeah.
would we call it highs?
Lots of tears shed this
Yeah.
past month. I will say, yeah, like for the bright years, with fiction, I have found that to be the case with a lot of the fictions I've been reading. Like they are shorter, they tend to be
Yeah.
shorter, but it feels like you've been with them for so long, where with
Yeah.
fantasy reads, they can be very long, but it feels like you haven't really been with them like that long. Like it passes by so quick, and you're like, wait, I've only spent like a month with you. Um, because I guess
Yeah.
we have to take time to do like build the world and do magic. So you're focusing on other things, but in a general fiction like that, it's like the main point of it is getting deep into these characters and their experiences. So if that's all you're doing, then it's like you will be able to get to know them
Yeah.
a lot quicker. So yeah, that's kind of the beauty of like contemporary fiction or literary fiction.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just starting to like really or just crave it kind of. I've always appreciated it, but actually be like really invested in the stories. Actually, when you
Mm-hmm.
said short amount of time with characters in fantasy books, spark moment to A Song to Drown Rivers, because
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was so shocked about is the fact that that is a really short book as well. Like that's like around
Mm-hmm.
300 pages. It's a standalone. Um, and I saw somebody comment actually in my vlog where I just read it, talking about the fact that it almost could be not a fantasy book. Like
Yeah.
the way it is laid out and talks about, I don't know, different struggles and like politics and everything like that. It almost could be considered like a fiction, and
Yeah.
they've just added magical elements, which I feel like was a really great way to describe it because throughout the whole book, I was there going, so much time has passed, but like, it's not in a way that you're missing much. Like it doesn't feel like, oh, I needed more time here because I don't understand what's going on. Like you understood everything and everything made sense and it made
Mm-hmm.
sense why it was passing so quickly. And yeah, I feel like that's a really hard thing to do because a fine balance to find rather. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
really interesting as well.
Yeah. I find with mythology books, like books that are so heavily inspired, they tend to really border historical fiction and fantasy. And it can go like either way, depending on what the author wants to do. But A Song to Drown Rivers, like I've always said, definitely leans more towards historical fantasy
Yeah.
with romance, and then with just a tiny touch of fantasy, like the tiniest,
Yeah.
tiniest little touch. But yeah, so good. And obviously, I'm so excited that you read it and that you actually liked it.
Oh my gosh. I will say I was like loving it and I was enjoying it. And then the ending brought it up so much
Yeah.
higher on my rating
Yeah.
scale. I was like, what? And I think it took me a good like whole day to like really truly think about our characters
Hmm.
and think about that ending for it to like sink in and make sense and everything. Like it made sense, but it really makes sense once you start to like let it
Yeah.
settle in.
Yeah.
You're
It's
like,
like,
yeah, I understand
oh,
why this happened.
yeah. Like it
And it's
had to
kind of
happen that way.
poetic in a way.
Yes.
Very wonderful. Also found out that Anne Liang, the author, lives in Melbourne. So that's really
Oh, she does.
fun. Yeah,
That's fun.
she moved here. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's cool.
that is really
Um,
cool.
what about your lowlights?
Okay, I mean, if we're talking in terms of books, my worst read of the month has to be Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia
Every
Quinn.
single month.
Every month without
It's
fail, it's like the lowest rated one. But I like,
four Bridgerton books.
yeah, I will say I think I'm ending the series here. Like, it's the fourth
Okay.
one. I committed to reading the first four because I had them like physically, so I'm like, I'm gonna read the first four, see how it goes. The like kind of sucky thing is though, is that I've heard that the second half of the series is better. Like the last four are better than the
Yeah.
first four in general, is what I've heard, and I'm like, okay, well then, why did I read the first four then? Like I feel like I'm so done now. Um, the thing about the Bridgerton books though is that they all start so good. Like I love the beginnings of the Bridgerton books. I love the setups. I also think like Julia Quinn gets really creative with her plots, and this because like every book has to have such a different trope because they're all like if they didn't they'd all be so similar. I love how they all have such a different romance trope, but also the plots are so different. And the ideas
Yeah.
and like the things she throws into them, I'm like, this is cool. Like this would be so cool. And I love the beginnings. I love the initial banter. I love the initial introductions of the characters, but it's honestly her male characters that I can't get behind. Like their arcs suck. Like Colin sucks. Like I hate him. And
Let's
like
be honest, I feel like the TV show version of him wasn't incredible. He was better in the as a side character. I fear.
he was better as a side character, but I was always like, okay, the third season of Bridgerton sucked, but like maybe he's better in the book. Like maybe that's the
Yeah.
one exception where they just really messed up the season. And now like after reading the book, I'm like, honestly, it was probably good that they had all of those side plots, and like it was probably good that Colin didn't have that much screen time because he really sucks. Like being in his POV, like in his mind in the book, I'm like, oh my God, like he was frustrating me so much, like so selfish, just thinks of himself, like is
That does
completely
suck.
the wrong person for Penelope. Like I love Penelope and I'm like, you deserve better. Like you actually deserve better.
Oh, that's like, yeah, I just laugh every time I hear your little Bridgerton rants. They're so entertaining, to be honest. I'm like, I'm never
Well,
going to read them, so it's close as I'm going to get.
I'm glad I entertain you. But yeah, I think this is the end of my Bridgerton journey. Aside from that, I feel like most of my reads were pretty good. But I will say one thing that made me feel a little weird this past month is like when I set my TBRs, I feel like most people don't finish their monthly TBRs. And like I've always been the type of person that actually finishes my monthly TBR, but I take it like to the next level where I will finish my monthly TBR within like the first week of the month. Like because I'm so goal oriented that when I set a goal, like I will meet that goal. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I can't relax. I don't know how to relax. I can't even like fathom reading something else until I finish my monthly TBR. And so, like, I actually do get a lot of like DMs and comments being like, "Wait, are you already done like your entire February TBRs? Like the month just started." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's just me. Like
I
that's
love
just my
that. Oh
personality."
my gosh, I know.
But then it makes me feel weird because I want my monthly TBR to guide me through my reading month, and I only pick 5 a
Yeah.
month, which I think is actually a good amount because it helps gives me freedom for like different reading vlog themes that I want to do, and like if I do want to mood read, it helps with that. So I don't want to pick more books on my monthly TBR, but I'm like I just need to learn how to relax and be like it's only the
To mood
7th of the
read.
month. Like you can pick up something else and like not be stressed about finishing your monthly TBR.
Well, maybe you should like
So
set the books in like different weeks of the month, if that makes sense. Be like, yeah, I'm going to read like these 2 books this week and then these 2 books this week or something like that.
yeah.
Because like set other goals within your goal. And so then you can still be reaching your goals. Just, I'm trying to get in the
Really
Jamie
complicated goals.
mindset.
Yeah, I mean like the thing is also like yeah, reading vlogs. Like I have to figure out my
Yeah.
reading vlog schedule of like when am I going to film this one, when am I going to film that one, and then like which of my TBR books fit in which reading vlogs. And so that's the difference I think between being just like a reader and being a content creator is that a lot of our reading selections actually are kind of controlled by the content we're making.
Yeah.
And like we obviously can choose what types of content or what type of content we want to make, but like at the end of the day our like TBRs and what we pick up are very highly influenced by the videos we're creating. So I feel like it's something I just need to figure out a little bit more. I just got so like yeah, like stuck in I need to finish my TBR that by the end of the month I just felt aimless because I'm like or not even by the end of the month, like by the last 3 weeks of the month. I was like, what do I pick up now? Because I'm done my TBR.
It's like majority of the month. It's like 4 weeks a
Yes.
month.
Yeah, and then they were books that I'm like, oh, I want to save that one for my March TBR. Like there's this thing in my head
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm like,
I do understand that.
you know what I don't want to pick that one up because I want to pick it for my March TBR. So then it's like I wait to read it and I withhold it. But then I'm like, why am I not just like picking this book up?
Yeah. It like honestly, probably a better problem to have, like actually finishing your TBR. It's a good problem,
That's
but I
true.
do understand. Like, yeah, I think you need to like break it up through the month maybe, because I do understand the point of like you want to pick up certain books, but then you're thinking, no, 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 I've got to wait till like this moment. Like I've been wanting to pick up a stage set for villains for like the past week. I'm not even gonna lie, and I just keep going,
Yeah.
no, I have to keep waiting, which is fair because that's our book club pick. But
Yeah.
which, by the way, I have been seeing reviews start to roll in because it was released recently. Obviously, oh my gosh, I've been seeing really good reviews, and it's just making me
Yeah.
want to read it more. And I'm like, when that happens to multiple books on your TBR, by the way, I did take my jumper off, guys, if you saw that. I was like, I started off a little bit chilly and I was like, great, I can wear a jumper. No, I'm like sweating.
I actually didn't notice. I've just been so like like invested in this
I was like
conversation.
trying to like silently do it. And I was just like, but it's fine, we're good. But no, it is hard. And when you're doing reading vlogs, that's just a whole nother thing as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like subconsciously when you pick your TBR, you're also thinking about, oh, how can I incorporate this into a reading vlog? Which is, yeah, I feel like what I didn't do this month, I'm not gonna lie, but
How did your TBR go?
well, yeah, speaking of TBRs, I have not stuck to mine very well because of the reading vlogs I've been doing. I have been like very much doing, like, I got Austin to pick my reads for a week and stuff, and he did pick one book on my TBR, but obviously that just like kept pushing them back and back. And I've been really great at like planning out all my content for the month, and I'm like, I plan a whole month in advance, and I'm like, yes, this is 2026 content planning. But then my TBR will just escape me, especially if I haven't filmed my TBR video when I'm planning out the next month. So that kind of has been interesting. I'm only on the third book in my TBR at the moment, and I
Okay.
actually am filming a video. I was like, you know what? The end of the month, I leave kind of the end of the month vlog as like a pick what you want. It's usually either like a finishing series
Yeah.
or whatever. This month it's finishing my TBR as quickly as I can because I just haven't stuck to it, which is like fine. But yeah, and like I've enjoyed the books, but I think as well when I'm not reading books that are on my TBR, I kind of feel a little bit guilty, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad that I'm like enjoying this and I should be reading this book, and I'm always thinking about what my next read's going to be. So my question is, when you are like forcing yourself to read your TBR, does that take you out of the experience of the book? 'Cause that's what it can do to me sometimes, which is why, like, if I'm really wanting to read, say, Jade Legacy, I'm going to pick that up over a TBR book because I can't stop thinking about it. And if I read a different book, it's going to completely hinder my experience of that book. Does that make sense?
Um, So I think what I've realized recently is I'm not actually that much of a mood reader,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
which
That's nice.
I always thought I was. Like I always thought I was, and I don't know if it's because everyone else around me was like, I'm a mood reader, and I'm like, oh, I'm a mood reader too. And I think to a certain degree I am, but
Yeah.
I think I can pick up a book kind of not in the mood for it and still like get into it. Like it's not going to completely affect my experience with it. I will say something that can hinder my reading experience though is if I have just come off a really, really good book and then I pick up another one, and if that one's just average, I'll just be like, oh, this sucked. But like it could have just been pretty good. It was just compared to the
Yeah.
one I just came off of, it didn't live up. So that's like the only thing I can think of that
Okay.
would affect it. But that's why I'm like, I feel like I need my TBR because I like the structure. And then when my TBR is done and I'm like, what do I pick up next? I literally don't know what I'm in the mood for. So maybe I'm a mood reader when I actually have a mood, but most of the
Yeah.
time I don't have a mood. Like I'm just so indecisive and I'm like, I literally don't know. And I think also one of the factors in that is that I'm really excited about a lot of books on my TBR. Like,
Yeah.
and so I think mood reading is a lot easier when you're like, this one's speaking to me a lot more than this one at the moment, but I'm at this like point in my TBR, which is great, but like I'm excited to read everything. Like everything has equal like, priority for me. And so, yeah, when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know. I could pick that one. I could pick that one. And there's just
Yeah.
too many choices.
No, that does make sense. Honestly, you're like a mood reader, but like it's like your mood for the month. It's like you set your TBR and that's like your
Yeah.
mood. Whereas like my mood changes every single book I read, and if I see one TikTok talking about one book that was good, I'm like, oh, now I'm in the mood for that one.
You're like, that
I'm
one.
so easily influenced and so easily changed. Which, yeah, has been like for example, I put Heated Rivalry on my TBR this month because I was like, yeah, sounds really good.
Yeah.
I was went to get it from the library. There's 34 people in front of me for that book. Then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, great, I'll do the audiobook, which I'm not really into audiobooks when they're spicy, but anyway, no, it's completely out of stock. Same with the ebook in the library. And then I was like, I just know, like, I know deep down that this isn't going to be a book that's going to really, really, really impact me. And sometimes I struggle to, like, I've got so many books on my to buy list. I'm also trying to limit myself because I do not have room on my bookshelf is so stacked at the moment. And so I'm just like, it's, I'm not itching to go read it because I don't have the physical copy and I don't really need the physical copy. And yeah, so that's like, I've just gone, oh, okay. I'm just going to put myself in that little queue. When I reach that queue, I'm there.
I mean, I feel like people are going to read that one pretty quick. So hopefully
Yeah. So I'm like,
the line
a few
goes
weeks maybe.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic, especially with the Olympics having just passed. I feel like hockey in general has been, I know it's so sad. Hockey in general
Like,
has,
I refused to watch the closing ceremony because I was like,
oh, I haven't watched it either.
no. I'm like, it's not. And see, I still love the Paralympics. So for me, I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I've still got Paralympics to watch.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for. So, but then when the Paralympics end, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go in my little hole now. Which, to be honest, I don't even know why. It's the only time I care about sports ever.
I know.
But anyway.
Okay. So, fun story. We're sidebarring or veering towards
But like,
non-book things, but that's what these episodes are for.
yeah, exactly.
Several years ago, I actually volunteered for the Pan Am Games that happened in Toronto. And so
Yeah.
it's basically like the Olympics, but it's just the Americas. So it's like North America, Central America, South America. And it was summer. And oh my goodness, like when I tell you, like the Olympics must be insane, the atmosphere, because even the atmosphere for the Pan Am Games was incredible. So like when I volunteered, I was doing press and media for beach volleyball. And so I was spending like all day, every day at the beach volleyball courts, like interviewing the athletes, like talking to people. And like also the team, like all of the volunteers are from everywhere too. Like it's not just local volunteers. So you're
Crazy.
meeting people from around the world. You're like exchanging culture and stories and like experiences and everything. It's just such a cool experience. And by the end of that like week or 2 weeks that the Pan Am Games was, like experiencing like that cutoff of like, oh, everyone's leaving now. Like this is over was so sad. And like it's so sad watching it happen like on TV for the Olympics, but like experiencing it in person
Yeah.
too, being like, this has been every day, all day for me for 2 weeks. Like it's so concentrated and you're surrounded by all these people and you've met people from around the world. And then they all leave. And then all of a sudden there's like no more beach volleyball. There's like no more like go into whatever. There's no more meals together in the cafeteria. Like, oh, it was just so sad, but such a cool experience. Like I would totally do it again. Like if the Olympics ever came to Toronto, which I don't know if it will because I don't know if we have the infrastructure to do that. I would totally volunteer. Like it's such a good experience.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool just like seeing everyone come together, like all the countries come together.
We've got
So
to go
cool.
to France. What is it?
The French Alps
Winter
in
Olympics.
2030.
Yeah. That's going to be our
2030
goal.
trip. Yep.
That and the marathon, apparently, the Hobbiton Marathon. They're our two goals, which us, like, the most, like, not interested in sports people suddenly have set our two goals. It's, like, a marathon and the Winter Olympics. Make that make sense, please.
We like sports when it caters to us.
Yeah. Give me some drama in the ice dance and I'm all in. I mean, I was already all in on the ice dance, but, like,
The ice
give
dance,
me some
yeah.
drama in the curling and I'm all
Give me some double taps in the curling. I'm invested immediately.
My whole For You page recently is just fail, and I've been spamming Jamie
Double
with my
taps.
curling.
The
It's
one
literally
with
like
the figure skaters and how they were all falling, and then how someone just like put the little poke like right before everyone fall. I'm like, oh my god, this is stupid.
literally, I never would have. I think at the beginning of the Olympic Games, in like a podcast episode, I literally said, I love so many sports, well, maybe apart from curling, because like that's a bit boring. And somehow they have made curling like the center of the Olympic. What has happened?
Yeah, the most
Oh my
exciting
gosh.
sport in 2026 was literally curling.
That has like it's actually hilarious to me. I love it so much.
Yeah,
But what an Olympics, honestly. It was a great Olympics. I'm
it was so good.
yeah. Logging on I think it's March 6th for the Paralympics. I'll get you into a
Yes.
different sport because there's no ice dance, so you just need to find a different
I
sport.
know.
Just
That
find
was
one. Like, see, I just do whatever's on my time.
Yeah, whatever you like, whenever you wake up. I will say
Yeah.
also, when I did the Pan Am Games, we did the Para-Pan Am Games as well, and that was the best. I honestly almost loved volunteering for the Para-Pan Am Games more than the actual Pan Am Games because just like
Literally.
everyone's attitude, like the atmosphere, like everyone was just like there to like have fun and like they were just so happy to be there. And they were all like fangirling over us as the volunteers, which was really funny because like it's usually
That's so
like us
cute.
being like, you guys are the athletes, like you're amazing. But then they were like, because there was this big thing of like trading jackets and trading pins and stuff during the game. So like it was
That's
always,
so
they were all
cute.
like, oh, can we trade your like t-shirt and like have your, like, oh, it was so cute.
That
Yeah, I
is, oh
love.
my gosh. I was gonna say I almost like the Paralympics more than the Olympics sometimes for certain
Mm,
sports because like
yeah.
I don't know, it's also just like I sit there in awe. Like nothing is gonna
So
take my
impressive.
attention from the TV. Because I am just there
Yeah.
going like, I can hardly like kick a ball straight. And
Hmm.
it
No, yeah.
blows my mind, my appreciate. Like I don't talk about anything for 2 weeks. Like everyone around me gets so irritated at me because it becomes my hyperfixation. I mean, so has the ice dance. It like
Yes.
everyone knows around me the drama in the ice dance now. Did they know a thing about ice skating in the Olympics before? No.
No,
Now they know
never.
everything, and I'm like, I am so sorry.
The way it should be.
Yeah.
Should we
Back
get
to
back on
our
topic? Yeah,
yeah.
where were we? Your lows. We need to do your lows.
My lows. Oh, my worst book I read was probably The Night We Lost Him. Um, but that was literally kind of makes sense because that was my lowest rated book on my TBR, and I read that for a reading vlog for my lowest rated book. So it was fine.
Hmm.
It just was not a thriller like it was pitched as, and I felt like it was more of a contemporary fiction with a mysterious aspect that kind of just commented on our characters the entire time and what they're going
Yeah.
through in their lives. It was one of those books, like I said in my vlog, it reminded me of God of the Woods. Like I
Mm.
went in with a very particular expectation because it was pitched to me like that.
Yeah.
And then whilst you're reading it, you're kind of going, like, when is the mystery? Like when is the suspense going to start happening? And it just never really happened.
Mm.
So it's fine. It was a fine book. It just wasn't what I was expecting. It wasn't like awful by any means.
Yeah. I think the first one was kind of like that too, right? The last thing he told me. I read it so long
Well,
ago, but I kind of remember
it's
it.
not actually, there's another one. I thought that it was connected to that, but there's another one that
Oh.
is just like literally like the two, what are they called? Covers? They look the exact same. But this is an
Yeah.
entirely different story. And then there's another one that just came out. That's the second one. It's the
Oh.
last thing he told me. And it's like the last time we
Oh. The
saw him or something
last.
like that.
Okay. Okay. This is getting very
Yeah,
confusing.
it
Got you.
is. Like, if they could just pick another font, I would be really appreciative of that.
Yeah, or like titles that are just very like basic words strung together in a sentence. Like one of my books that I just chose for my March TBR, I chose it today, is called this. Hold on. I can't even see across the room because it's dark. But it's like this book made me think of you. I think that's what it's called. And I'm like, technically it's not that difficult of a title to remember. Like it's all very basic words, but like the way it's just so normal makes it harder to
Yeah.
remember. Like it's just a
like
bunch
strung
of very
together.
simple words strung together, and it's like I'm never gonna remember this title ever.
Yeah. I know. Oh, they annoy me. Actually, no, I was going to have a whole nother sidetrack on like names in books recently, and I've been really struggling with names in books and remembering who's who, but that's not even. What is important is what are we looking forward to in March?
Great segue. Love how you rerouted
like,
that.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, very exciting actually. I'm at a point right now where I know I've been kind of like hesitant to start new series for like the past few months because I've been trying to read down my series, but I've gotten to a point where I only actually have, I think, 2 or 3 active series that I can continue. Well, after this month, because I
Wow.
will have continued a couple more this month. But after I read like 3 more for my reading series March vlog, I won't have that many series to continue because the rest of them are waiting for releases that are coming out like later this year. So they're still active series that I consider because they are coming out this year, but they're just not out yet.
Yeah.
So I'm at a point where I'm like, I actually want to start a lot of new series and like refresh, like update my whole series roster. And I think that is just such an exciting time to be alive, like to just like dive into new fantasy worlds and stuff like that. So yeah, there are definitely a few series that are high on my radar this next
Internal
month.
devices.
Yeah, I think a lot of you know about that one.
I hope so.
That one.
That was me putting it out into the universe, by the way. I
Yeah.
have no idea. I'm just putting out
No,
good
no, no,
vibes.
yeah. That one's high. I feel like, okay, top tier series I want to start this month are The Infernal Devices. I also want to start The Witcher. And I also want to start Dungeon Crawler Carl. Which,
That will be fun.
yeah, sounds really, really fun. So those are my top 3. And then I have like a whole second tier of series I want to start, like the Jasad Air. I want to start the Viking
Kiss of
one, the Road of
Deception.
Bones.
Because I really want to see you read
Yes, Kiss of Deception.
I can't Remnant Chronicles, that's one.
Yeah. There's that one. There's also, I mean, like, not fantasy, but The Naturals. A lot of people have been wanting me to dive into that one
Oh,
too,
yeah.
which I've heard that one is fun. Yeah, there are just so many series to dive into, but I'm excited because I'm like, yeah, at a point where I'm like, yeah, I feel good about it. I feel like I can start a bunch of new ones at this point.
This is where you can let your mood reading take control. And like once you've done
Yeah.
your TBR, you can be like, what series are we going to start? That's exciting.
Yeah, I feel like that's also why I've been kind of in a funk of like, what do I read next? Because there have been a
Yeah.
lot of books on my TBR that are starts of series, and I've been like, but I can't do that
Yeah.
yet. But now I'm like, yes, I can.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I feel
Yeah.
like also like being able to critique what series you are reading and being able to be like, this series isn't for me. Like I've tried it, I've read this many
Yes.
books in a series, and being like, okay, so we're not in the middle of that one anymore. That's
Yeah.
like a really satisfying feeling as well. So like with the Bridgerton series.
Yeah, I've done a series clean out. There are a
Yeah.
few series that I'm dropping, and I actually made a video about it. I think it'll be out a few days before this podcast episode. So
Okay.
catch it on my channel. I think it'll be out. I'm not sure. It might be out. It might not be out yet. It might be my next video. I don't know. Posting schedule. I don't know. But I did. Yeah, I
love
I
that
did
we
make a video.
like I have that video planned for this month as well. Like I love that we always
You
somehow
do. No, you don't.
It's for the very end of the month though, because I want to continue other series this month and then like do it all then.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. We just
Always
very
insane.
funny.
We don't plan these things. It just happens. That
No,
we
like
make
with
the
our
same
last
videos.
vlogs.
Yeah,
It's like
they're reading
being,
the
like, really
highest and
similar.
lowest. Yeah, it's like, why are we doing? And a lot of the time, we actually post them on the same day too, or like within a day of each
know.
other. And it's like, what?
And I'm like, guys, I promise we didn't know.
We literally don't plan this stuff. Like, we don't go over our video schedules with each other. Like, it just happens.
Literally, I think the only reason you knew I was doing that video was because we were talking about it in a podcast before.
Yeah,
And then like otherwise we would have just uploaded it and been like,
Yeah.
oh, you did the same one.
yeah. And then I was like, wait, I'm actually filming that video. Like, I'm
Yeah.
filming it too.
So
Oh man.
funny.
Okay. What are you looking
Should we
forward
rapid
to?
fire Oh, yeah, actually,
No.
sorry,
Yeah.
forgot about me. I was going to say, should we rapid fire some releases? Because there is good
No.
release month.
Not yet.
I'm looking forward to reading some new authors. I've been starting to branch out and
Ooh.
reading some authors that like read some authors that aren't usually, I don't know, in the genres that I read. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but I read Strange Pictures, which was by a Japanese author, just because I know I'm going to butcher it. And that's not fair. And like that's a genre that Austen is very, very familiar, which I feel like Japanese fiction is a genre within itself. Like it
Yeah.
is a very particular kind of vibe. And you know, I started some like contemporary fiction, so I'd love to do a little bit more of that this month and just start some like kind of under the radar fantasy authors. That's what I'm really excited about. To start some
Ooh.
like I've got a lot of fantasy books on my TBR that I've never heard of before, never read anything by them. So I'm really excited to like delve into a new style of writing. Especially,
Ooh.
I feel like when you start reading the same, you know, books in series or something like that, it's nice to get
Yep.
a refreshing kind of fantasy look.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
exciting.
excited
I
about
like that
that.
one. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of a rapid fire, like new releases in March that we're looking forward to. So the first one on my radar is No Matter What by Cara Stone. This is coming out March 3rd. It's a second chance romance, and I love Cara Stone romances, but this one basically follows a couple who they like get into a car accident, and then ever since the accident they're never this they're like they can't get back to how they were before. So then I think we follow them as they hopefully try and find their way back to each other. It's advertised a second chance. So I'm assuming they find
Okay.
their way back to each other. But I'm really
Excellent.
excited about this one. Yeah. It was on my radar for anticipated releases this year, and then my sister actually ended up pre-ordering it for me for my birthday.
Oh,
So
cute.
yeah, so I'm actually gonna get it, I guess, like on release day, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
That one sounds so cute. Do you want to do the next one as well? Because I actually haven't heard of
Oh
this
yeah.
one.
Okay, so March 17th, You Did Nothing Wrong by C.G. Drews is coming out. This is the same author who did Hazelthorn, which I read last year.
Oh,
So it's a horror, so probably not for you, but it's something that I've been dabbling into. But this one basically follows a single mother. She meets a guy who sweeps her off her feet, and then she ends up moving in with him with her autistic son. And she's like, I've got life figured out now. I have a new husband, a really like cool house. I've got my son with me. And I think she ends up being pregnant with another baby on its way. But then one day, her son starts saying that he can hear voices within the walls. And he's saying that the renovations that they're doing are hurting the house. And so she needs to figure out what is happening. Is this something like real happening, or is her son just hearing things in his mind? So that one sounds really good. Sounds really creepy. I love like a haunted house
yeah.
in that way where the house is like almost a character of its own, and that's what this book really sounds like. And yeah, I really enjoyed Hazelthorn. So I think CG Drews does autistic rep very well. Also,
Okay, that's good.
I really liked how they did it in Hazelthorn. So I'm looking forward to this one too.
Because it very much can be like a hit or a miss, like and very unrealistic sometimes. So that's good to hear.
Yeah.
The next one, which I'm sure we are all very excited for, including you guys, is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This comes out at the very end of March, March 31st. And we're basically like the premise is set on that in everyone's life there's like a split decision that can change everything. And we are following Larissa, and there was a moment in her past where she had to choose a guy to ride home with after a concert. One option is just like a random guy, I think, and then the other option is his best friend. Larissa made her decision, and that pretty much has like formed her dating life. I guess I'm trying to find
Yeah.
the words, guys. I'm struggling towards the end of this. But she's still
Always.
very close with her best friend, or the best friend that we talked about earlier. Yeah, I think this is going to be an
Sounds love
interesting.
triangle-y.
Yeah. So I was about to say the reason this one is like a little bit iffy to me, but like if anyone can do it, it's Happy Jimenez. Is yeah, I'm just not a love triangle kind of person, and like
Yeah.
going with the wrong guy and letting that determine, or like, I don't know, maybe he's the right guy. I actually have no idea. But like going with one guy and letting that determine your entire dating history is an interesting premise.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like the synopsis is leaning, it's like leaning towards the like she'll choose the best friend in the end. Like that's how it's kind of seeming, and I'm like, I don't know if I like boyfriend's best friend. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it's like his kind of, like it says this in the premise as well, his kind of like sitting on the sidelines and like he still wants to have her in his life, but he's just the best friend now. Like he's not anything, he's not in the priority position. So yeah, that one's kind of interesting. We'll see though. I feel like I always have trust in Abby, to be honest.
Yeah.
At least in her newer books, because you've said her backlog's interesting. But anyway.
Yeah, interesting. Good way to put it.
The next one I'm actually quite interested about. I got an ARC for this one and I really want to read it this month, is Starside by Alex Astor. This also comes out on the 31st of March. So Alex Astor obviously wrote the Lilac series, and I've heard really good things about this one. So I'm really excited about it. It's actually an adult romantasy. So Lilac was YA. And the premise is there is a world that is split into two and it's divided by power. So there is Starside, which is like the higher power, all-powerful, rich kind of people. And I think it's like Stormside, correct me if I'm wrong, but something like that is the lower side of things, where people basically have to fight for power and you can claim it. Again, we have the idea of like this whole competition. I feel like she loves a competition setting, but every 50 years the gates open between these two sides and a quest commences that allows 50 tributes to attempt to journey through the other side, so through Starside. So I'm guessing it means tributes from the lower quarter, I guess, the lower side. Yeah. And this was kind of, it's an interesting premise in hopes to find a pool that grants all your wishes or grants desires. So we've got a lot of like magical aspects thrown in there.
So and then we are following
yeah, I was like I don't know, is it like a wishing well type situation?
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then we are following Aris, who is seeking revenge for the death of her family, and that is kind of what's driving her motivation to compete in this challenge. So I think it'll be fun. I don't like have like super high expectations, but I think it sounds like a fun, fast-paced, like just get lost in it kind of romantasy. And I'll be interested to see, because like Lilac I actually didn't mind. Like I think it cops a lot of hate. It's the love triangle that I don't like in it, because like and it just gets dragged on and on and on. But the actual like setting of it I found quite fun. Like I found the actual trial setting quite entertaining. So yeah, if we don't have a love triangle, I'll probably have a good time.
You'll have to let me know how this one goes, because I haven't read an Alex Astor before. And I thought, I always, like for some reason, every time I see one of her fantasy books, I'm like, oh, this is just like connected to Lightlark. But I guess this one isn't.
Like at the beginning of the premise, it literally says an all new world adult fantasy. So I'm like, okay,
in like
clearly
bold.
It's a misconception. Because she has like continued the Lilac saga, I think. So it gets a little bit continuing. Like originally, it gets a little bit confusing. Originally, it was a trilogy, I think. No.
That's what I think. That's why I'm confused. Like I haven't read any of the books, but I've just like I keep seeing more, and I'm like, oh, it's more Lightlark. So then when this one came out, or I started seeing the arcs go out, I was like, oh, it's another Lightlark book.
Yeah.
But okay, clarification, not Lightlark.
Yeah, there we go. And also, little PSA that Project Hail Mary film comes out on the 12th of March, which we'll have to do a big deep dive into when we...
The 12th? I thought it was the 20th.
Oh, maybe it is the 20th. Maybe I typed that in wrong as we were talking. But it comes out in March.
Yes, this month.
or the little thing. Also, like, sometimes I see TikToks that completely just they just mistype the date. Like, I remember I saw that for Wuthering Heights. I thought Wuthering Heights was coming out like a whole week before it actually was, because of one TikTok I saw. So I'm like, I need to fact check.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the 20th. So I guess it would be like 19th for you if it's the same day.
Or I just get it a little bit
or the next day.
Like, yeah, I'm not, or later. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, maybe it's the 12th for you, which would be so unfair. Why would you get it a whole week earlier?
Well, sometimes that happens for books. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking it up.
I know.
Yeah, 20th. You're right. I typed the wrong order.
Okay. We fact checked.
Yeah, I think
we're good.
I think the 20th. It'll probably come out on the 20th as well for me, and I'll just get to see it a few hours in advance from you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one.
I know.
We'll
Nervous,
have
but
to,
excited.
yeah, we'll have to debrief after we
Yep.
both watch that one for sure. That was a good recap, I feel like, and yeah, lots of good things to look forward to. So join our Patreon.
Yeah, if you want more of us, just behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah, we're
If you're
gonna
not
do,
sick of us.
feel like we're gonna do a little bit more in this like first month. I think we were just discussing that we want to do like a live Q&A or like a live get to know, like meet and greet, because we want to meet you guys
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So if you guys join early this month, you'll be able to catch that hopefully, and then we'll do our book club episode closer to the end of the month. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely did, but if you guys are still here listening to the end, thanks for listening wherever you are in the world or whatever time zone you're in.
Until next time, stay comfy and keep reading.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on socials for more bookish content.
Bye. See you next time.